Hi everyone, I'm Haley,
I'm Ashley.
and we have chosen Wonder Woman as our superhero. Our group has chosen to be super scientists with Marvel's Reed Richards, who created a pre existing superhero everyone knows as Wonder Woman. We have chosen to use our sizable grant and IRB approval to make Wonder Woman immune to all diseases, infections, and toxins. So, how did we do this as super scientists? Let's take a deeper look. Our relevance to Anatomy 2, we wanted to go back to chapter 21 when we learned about the immune system. Immunity is the body's ability to recognize, fight against, and remember harmful microbes. Immunity helps to keep the human body protected against bacteria, viruses, fungi, and toxins. So why Wonder Woman's immune system, is important. Wonder Woman doesn't age. Therefore, she is exposed to different bacteria and viruses that are constantly evolving. She is also able to fight off biological weapons that are used against her by her enemies. She is able to maintain a high level of T cell production because she stays extremely healthy. So, we also wanted to implement, we learned this throughout the semester, but we wanted to touch on the types of immunity in the normal human body. So, on number one, on this side, we have innate immunity, which is the first line of defense and responds the same way to each and every invader. This includes skin and mucous membranes, inflammation, phagocytes, and natural killer cells. On the other side, we have adaptive immunity. Adaptive immunity is the second line of defense, and this learns and remembers past infections. To touch base, we have B cells that produce antibodies, mark invaders for destruction, and T cells, which we have a couple different of those. The main two that I wanted to point out were helper T cells that coordinate immune response and cytotoxic T cells that kill infected or abnormal cells. Move you down here. So this information I found is actually was done in a Yale laboratory um, with mice. So put you right in the middle there. So on the left side, we have um, active T cells can trigger the immune response and make T cells receptors pair up, creating a long lasting signal, but only at body temperature. The body temperature was the 37 right here. That is super high. And that's going to be our best charted, which was 600 seconds, which equals 10 minutes. At 25 degrees, this is going to only last for 30 seconds. The antagonist over here does not activate T cells. They can also bind, but they cannot cause T cell receptor pairing. Because of this signal stays short and weak at both temperatures, room temperature and body temperature. Room temperature is the 25 degrees. So you can see how these two stayed very short and the 37-degree really took off. So let me see. So the agonist peptides can induce temperature dependent changes in T cell receptors, which lead to the formation of T cell receptors when the people in the Yale Science Laboratory were basically making these mice like try and transverse with each other, if that makes sense. But I thought that was really cool. So, next, what helps boost immunity? So, we have a couple different things that help. Goodness, sorry. a couple different boosters for immunity. So we have exercise, certain foods, vitamins, vaccines, and sleep. So exercise boosting immunity. So I don't know. Let's see, right there on the side. So here's our chart that we found for in our academic research. So as right here, you can kind of see the solid line is for immune function and the dotted is for disease. Right here at the bottom, I put in case anybody didn't know what that meant. It's basically meaning a person's likelihood of developing a disease. So up at the top, we have inactive to little to no exercise. The immune function is low, and the ability to get disease is very high. Moderate to regulated exercise is going to be the best choice when working out. The immune function is at its highest, and the ability to get a disease or likelihood to get a disease is at the lowest. Exhaustive and overtraining when exercising is your worst option. Immune function is at its lowest, and disease is at its very highest. Too much intense exercise can weaken the immune system. So you definitely want to stick around the moderate to regulated exercise.
And to piggyback off what she said, this chart here just shows us the acute exercise and the time it takes to boost your immunity. And what could be harmful is the more moderate exercise. And just to summarize that up, our moderate exercise is just like the best workout strategy, what's best for our health, and what is going to strengthen our immunity long term, and also balance our function, and also lowers our inflammation. Heavy and long exercise really don't help as much. It do boost our immune system, but after so much vigorous exercise, your immunity drops. And we also have foods and vitamins that also play a part in helping boost our immunity, like having a healthy diet that contains nutrients can strengthen your immune system. You have certain foods that helps keep our innate immunity, like our macrophages, our NK cells, and our neutrophils, along with our acquired immunity, T and B cells, in a good working order. I mean, examples of food could be mushrooms, tomatoes, spinach, broccoli, that if we took in regularly would help with the resistance against disease in our bodies. And these are just examples, more so of, keeping the body hydrated, which also helps. And you have, taking a handful of almonds that are rich in vitamin E is essential, along with vitamin C, and maintaining a strong immune system. Almonds have an anti-inflammatory effect on cardiovascular disease, and the presence of vitamin E in the body it acts as an antioxidant. The purpose, of our immunity is to help keep our body healthy, balanced, and protected. The immune system also fights infections while avoiding harm to body's personal cells. And in conclusion to our Wonder Woman immunity slide, ultimately, we have used a sizable grants and scientific strategies to ensure our superhero Wonder Woman is able to resist all diseases and toxins because of our ability to understand and adapt to her immune response so she can continue to be undefeatable. Wonder Woman's immunity, along with our bodies, with with mega vitamins, a healthy diet, and staying very hydrated, and sleeping 8 hours plus a night, exercising moderately, and getting enough rest is very powerful to our immune system.
Yeah, so I'll pick up after what Ashley said. So Us as super scientists, we went in our laboratory, if you will, and we boosted Wonder Woman's immunity by giving her the mega vitamins and keeping her on a healthy diet, making sure she's very hydrated with all of the battles and fights that she does. If you've ever seen her in action, she probably exercises very moderately. But in the laboratory, we make sure that she gets enough rest, and that's how we make sure that we have made Wonder Woman undefeatable. So, here is all of our citations and acknowledgement, and that's all we have for tonight. And thank y'all so much for watching.